Hello, and welcome to Did You Know? My name's Shelby Finley.
And I'm Nathan Steinberg, and this is WinTV's Advanced KIDVID Workshop.
Hey Nathan, did you have fun bringing the cameras outside of the studio and into real-world situations?
Yeah, and I sure learned a lot about our town from our investigations. Tell them, Shelby.
Our first group met with Sid Groff, who taught us how Windsor is going green.
Did you know that Connecticut is the 33rd state in environmental advancements?
Let's go watch how Windsor is making Connecticut more eco-friendly.
Did you know that there's a green roof on top of the Windsor Public Library? Hi, I'm Josh from WinTV, and we're going to find out what makes the green roof green. We're also going to find out what the recent changes at Washington Park are. Hi, I'm from WinTV, and I'm here with Sid Groff. I'm going to ask you some questions about Washington Park and the green roof on the library.
All right, let's get started.
So Sid, where is the green roof?
The green roof in Windsor is on top of our main library here on Broad Street, and it's in an area that is depressed on the roof. It's flat, and it is near a couple of windows, so you can see it from inside the library, in one of the meeting rooms and also in one of the education rooms for kids.
How did you get the idea of making a garden on the roof?
Green roofs have become popular probably over the last 10 to 12 years as a way to conserve energy, heat in the wintertime and air conditioning, electricity in the summertime. The green roof acts as an insulating barrier, so you have 4 or 6 inches of soil, we call it media, that provides nutrients to the plants, and you have to make sure that your roof can hold the weight. It's 1,100 square feet, and it is in an area that it's on a separate, that area has its own zone, if you will, for heating, so we can track how much we save with the green roof.
What are the benefits of the green roof?
Well, there are a couple benefits. Besides the energy savings that we get for heating and air conditioning, it's also a good educational tool. We purposely planted the roof for butterflies. So when there's a reading project taking place in the library for kids, you can actually observe the plants that are in the storybook. You can look out the window and see the plants, and the butterflies are there. They're there today.
Who takes care of the plants?
I do. This past winter we had a lot of snow, so we had a lot of damage to the green roof. We had to replant a lot of it because all of our roofs here in Windsor had so much snow we had to shovel them. So the guys who were up there shoveling didn't realize there was a green roof underneath. So when they shoveled some of the plants right off the roof onto the ground in front of the library.
How do you take care of the plants?
We have a rain barrel up on the roof, so when we have a really hot, dry spell, I can go up once a week, water the plants. Sometimes the Public Works department helps me out. If I'm away for an extended period of time or I can't get up there, they will go up and water the roof. And it needs to be weeded every year. It also needs to be taken care of as far as leaves go. In the fall, when the leaves fall off the trees, they have to be removed for the winter. So we can put everything to bed, and after they're finished blooming, we clip them back.
Do bugs get up on the garden and try to kill the plants? If yes, do you have spray to kill them?
We don't use any spray. Any insects that do get up there, most of them are flying insects. So they are also considered to be either a prey species for the butterflies or for another flying insect. I did see a couple of earthworms this year in the soil, so that was really encouraging. I was very surprised to see them. But we don't really have any insects, but we wouldn't be using insecticides up there. We try to not do that. And in fact, there is a state law that prohibits us from using any kind of insecticide, pesticide, or herbicide in an area where children of 14 years or under have access.
What improvements have been made to Washington Park in the last year?
There have been a lot of improvements at Washington Park in the last year. The first was that the town did what we call dredging. They removed a lot of the sediment, which is dirt that flows down when it becomes eroded from another area, and it was sitting in what we call the forebay, which is the smaller pond on the inlet side of the large pond at Washington Park. So we dredged that out. We reused some of the soil in an area so we could plant that, and we did have an Eagle Scout who came in and planted that area of the forebay with lots of plants. He did a fabulous job, and it looks really nice now. We also redid part of the playscape. We did an update on the playscape and redid the mulch there. We planted a new wet meadow garden, which has lots of plant species in it that will provide food for any of the animals that live in and around Washington Park. Berries mostly, and some seeds. And then Public Works did a round, almost like a rose garden with some annuals and perennials right in the very center, just to give it some color. And we put in a couple of new benches. So Washington Park looks pretty nice right now. And we also put in a new picnic pavilion.
How do you clean the pond?
The pond itself, the large pond, is quite deep. It's not an easy thing to clean. We do some edge cleaning with hand tools. The forebay is what we mostly pay attention to because that's where everything falls out of the water and sinks to the bottom. So that's the area that we pay attention to for cleaning.
Who helps you clean up?
Public Works. Public Works has a special parks crew, and they actually a couple of parks crews, and they take care of the ponds and also all the lawn areas and a lot of the gardens in Windsor.
Thank you for your time for doing this with us. I learned a lot today.
Good, I'm glad.
Thanks. Bye. Today we learned a lot about the green roof on top of the library and the improvements at Washington Park. Once again, I'm Josh from WinTV. Thanks for watching.
Wow, I never knew there was a green roof on top of the library.
Yeah, and I can't wait to check out the new Washington Park. Our next group went to the local dog pound and interviewed Officer Ryan Davis.
Puppies!
Hello, I'm Josh from WinTV. Today, I'm here at the Windsor Dog Pound. Later, we'll talk to Officer Brian Davis, who's in charge of it. But for now, let's take a little look at the dogs. Josh from WinTV. Today, I'm here at the Animal Control Center with Officer Brian Davis. Hello, Officer Davis.
Hello there.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure can.
What do you do for your job?
We respond to all sorts of different animal complaints. We enforce humane law enforcement throughout the town, and we educate the public the best we can as far as animal care goes.
Why did you choose your job?
Well, I like working with people and animals, and this has the best of both worlds.
Have you grown up with animals?
All my life. Dogs, cats, rabbits, you name it, I've had it.
Where do you find most animals?
Anywhere on the street. They can be from a home, they can be out on the street, they can be dropped off here because they're unwanted.
How do you persuade people into adopting animals?
Well, there's not much persuasion. It's all in the act of taking a good picture of the animal. We use petfinder.com, a website. We get their pictures out. People walk down here on a regular basis looking at the animals. So it's just a matter of finding the right owner for the right animal, and they get a home.
What are some reasons animals come to the shelter?
Usually because the owners can't keep them anymore. We get a couple of neglect issues. Stray animals out on the road, we bring them in. and then we, do a temperament assessment on them and we find them homes.
Where do you get the money to run the shelter?
It's from the town, the taxpayers. They have a special fund set up and it's budgeted through the town.
How much does an animal cost?
The adoption fees vary depending on if the animal's been spayed or neutered, if they have any medical conditions or medical treatment that was done, but usually $5 to $75 to adopt one of our animals.
Do you enjoy your job?
I enjoy it immensely. It's always different. Each call is different every day.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy your job?
I would say a 15.
Why is that?
Just because of the different types of calls and dealing with the people, and each call is always unique. I've had calls for snakes, sheep, dogs, cats, pigs, you name it. Each time you get out there, you think you've seen it all, and you come up to something different.
Thank you so much, Officer Davis. I really learned a lot about it.
You're welcome.
This is Joshua Hardy and Officer Brian Davis signing off from the Animal Control Center. And now, a quick informational piece about one of the dogs here.
This is one of our pound animals. It's a sweet little pit bull mix. She's under a year old. This is just one example of some of the animals we bring in. She was picked up as a stray. She was struck by a car. She has an injury to her left hind leg. It's a minor fracture, which the vet says she should heal from very nicely on her own. She is starting to put pressure on it. She's gone unclaimed by the owner, so she is looking for a home at this point. She has a very sweet disposition. They get a bad rap, these pit bulls. As you can tell, she's got a real funny underbite here. Almost looks like she's smiling half the time. So if you're interested in adopting this little girl, give us a call, 688-5273.
Wow, I really learned a lot about the Windsor Dog Pound, and I hope you did too. This is Joshua Hardy signing off from the Animal Dog Pound.
Now I know that there are lots of cute animals in Windsor that need homes.
You can go to the local dog pound to find out more. Did you know that not only are there important offices in Town Hall, but there are also secret rooms?
Let's go explore these mysterious rooms.
You know something about what's in Town Hall, like the fire safety department and the zoning department. But I bet you didn't know there was 3 secret rooms. They are the emergency management headquarters, the council meeting room, and the town clerk's vault. I'm gonna go find out about these 3 rooms. Hi, I'm Olivia from WinTV, and today I'm going to show you 3 top secret rooms in Town Hall. Let's go to our first interview.
I'm here in the town clerk's vault with Miss Edmonds Peer, the town clerk, and she's going to tell us about this room.
Hi, Olivia. How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing real good.
So, can you tell us the purpose of this room?
Yes, this room is the town clerk's vault, as Olivia, you've said. It is the record-keeping room. It's where we have all of the records for the town of Windsor. And these records go from 1640 to today's date, which is 2010.
2010?
Okay. I've been doing some reports, and that's why I was thinking I had lost an entire year. But what we are is we have records in this vault that actually go to our current day. Long time. So we have a lot of years. We have 375 years of reports, of records here in this vault.
How did you get started with this business?
Well, I got started in this business about 9 years ago because I was in another part. I worked for a bank, and after I left the bank, then I came here, and I was hired by the former town clerk. And so I was her assistant for a while, and then when she retired, I became town clerk. So I've been town clerk since 2006.
How many records are in this vault?
Well, we have 1,718 land record books. Besides that, We have all births, deaths, and marriages that are from 1639 to today. And this book dates from 1884 to 1915. And these are all the reports that were done by the mayor or the selectmen, as they were called back then, back during those years. Those are the kind of reports and records that we have in this vault.
Do you have any copies of these files on the internet or on paper?
Yes, we have our land records, which are the records that tell if somebody has bought a piece of property or sold a piece of property. Those records, when they're recorded with us, those are then indexed, means typed into a computer database, and then that is provided on the internet on the town's website. So people can look up what volume and page their records are in, and they can come into our vault while we're here during the day and actually look at these land records.
Why do you keep all these records?
We keep all these records because the town of Windsor has a lot of history, and we need to keep these records because sometimes the police department need it, sometimes the justice, or sometimes regular people like your mom and dad need it, because your mom and dad might want to find out whether they're going to have a new mortgage or whether they need to learn what the property lines of their house are. So they need these records. The other thing is that if you have a brother or sister who's going to be going to school, when they go into school, then your mom and dad need to come here to get a copy of the birth certificate, because you can't go into school unless you're actually proven that, yes, you are a child of your mom and dad and you live in town.
Thank you for sharing this information with us.
You're entirely welcome.
I'm here in another secret room in Town Hall, the emergency management room, with Paul to talk about what this room is meant for.
Hi, Olivia. Well, here we are in the emergency command center at the town hall, which is in the basement of the town hall, and what we use this room for is major emergencies in town. If there was a tornado, an earthquake, a major disaster, we'd all assemble here as the administration in town, and we'd have communications down here, and this would be really where we would control all of the functions of the town.
Have you ever had need for this room?
Yes. As recently as several years ago, when we had a major gas leak in town, and we used this to coordinate all the activities for people getting their gas turned back on and make sure everybody was safe.
Is this room open to the public eye?
For the most part, the public is not aware that it's down here at all.
Why is that?
This room really is a secure area because of the nature of what goes on. We don't want a lot of people coming and going that would interfere with our process of trying to get the town back to being safe.
Who works here?
The people that would work in this town would be the emergency management group, which is a bunch of volunteers that would come in and help support the town administration. Also in this room would be anybody from the town manager, the health director, the police chief, the fire chief, and support staff.
Do you store any records here?
Everything we need is on the file cabinets behind me or on the computer.
What do you need?
Well, we've got maps, we have a whole bunch of phone numbers, and any general information that we need as far as the infrastructure of the town.
What's infrastructure?
Infrastructure are the roads, the power lines, the water lines, the gas lines, things like that.
What are all these machines used for?
Well, in an event of emergency, not only will we use telephones, but we'll use radios. And behind you are ham radios, a radio that can talk to the state, and also to our local police, fire, and EMS people.
So do you get calls here to tell them?
We wouldn't get calls here as far as dispatching people out, but we'd be giving out information from here.
So you get calls from the fire?
That's correct, from the fire department, police department, EMS.
What's the TV and smart board for?
Well, part of responsibility of emergency management is planning and logistics. And our responsibility is to be able to plan not only while the emergency is going on, but after the emergency to get people back to their homes or businesses back and running. So that's a planning portion of our responsibility.
Logistics mean, or whatever you said.
Logistics?
Yeah, that's the one.
So the question was, what is logistics? Logistics is coordinating people and resources.
And what's your responsibility?
My responsibility, I'm the fire administrator in town, so I'm responsible for the fire department operationally as far as the buildings and the vehicles are concerned. I'm also responsible for the communications in town, so I'd be a resource down here to assist in that matter.
Thank you, Paul, and I like your mustache.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm in Town Council chamber rooms with Mayor Donald Trinks, and he's here to tell us about the council and their secret room.
On the first and the third Monday of every month, the town council meets in this room. And one of the most important things about every meeting is that we have 2 chances for public communication for anybody from the public that would like to talk to the council about any issue that's on their mind. And basically what the council is here in Windsor is the policy board for the town and the financial board. We do go over ordinances, we go over the rules, we go over the finances, and most important to most everybody in town is that we go over the budget. And the budget in town is about $98 million. So it's kind of a lot of money to oversee. So this is what our council does. We have 5 Democrats, we have 4 Republicans, and for the most part we agree on a lot of everything. But there's some philosophical differences, but we all get along very well.
What does philosophical mean?
Well, sometimes some people want to do things a different way or have a different outcome. Most of the time we all have the same result that we want, but we just have different ways that we want to get to it.
Now can you tell us about the secret place?
It doesn't sound like it's going to be a secret for very long, though. As you know, this chambers used to be the courtroom, and the room that we're going to show you used to be the judges' chambers. And when the court left and went to Enfield, this became our town council chambers, and the secret room that you're going to see became a room for the town council to sit before a meeting and prepare, and maybe sit after a meeting and unwind a little bit. So not many people have seen the secret room. This is a big thing for you guys. Let's go see it.
Let's go. This is a very presidential looking room.
Well, the council meets here sometimes before meetings just to get ready and prepare. Sometimes we meet in here after, so we can kind of wind down after a long meeting. As you can see on the wall behind us, we've got all of the town council members going back all the way to 1947. It's kind of a nice historical piece. All the council members have a cabinet here where they can keep their paperwork, because sometimes, especially at budget season, we carry around pretty thick notebooks and it gets a little tiring. So we can actually leave them here. We've got a round table that we can prepare for our council meetings. And a microwave, absolutely. Well, sometimes as you sit there, your coffee gets cold, so it's nice to be able to warm it up.
What about the TV?
Actually, the TV we have, because most of the time we have the news on, find out what's going on. As you know, there's a lot going on at the Capitol for the state budget, so we like to be able to keep informed on that.
Why is this room so private to the public eye?
Well, no business can take place outside the public. Anything we do, any discussions we have as a majority of the council has to take place in public. This is really a room to prepare, so you're not getting phone calls, you're not having people asking you questions. It's a chance for the council to really sit down, get their work ready before we meet as a whole council.
Mr. Mayor,
Thank you.
thank you for letting us go to the room.
Not many people have seen it. I mean, Town Hall is obviously a public building, but again, before a council meeting, it gives a chance for the council to get together, either individually, just get ready and prepare for the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, I learned a lot. My favorite part was the city council. I never knew that was there, and it was really pretty. Well, big thanks to Mr. Donald Trink, Agnes Peer, and Paul Goldberg. Well, I'm Olivia reporting for Win TV. Bye. Thanks for watching.
That bulb was so cool. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode of Did You Know? Once again, I'm Shelby Finley.
And I'm Nathan Steinberg.
Thanks for watching.
Kane is in the building.
react to that.
Hello, I'm Officer Brian. Hello, I'm Josh from Win TV. Today, I'm here at the Animal Dog.
Hey, you're recording.
What?